So you want to join a multiplayer group flight situation in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and why wouldn't you? If you come to my channel, you might be doing things like setting yourself silly challenges like flying under the Golden Gate Bridge, extra points for anyone who manages to do a loop that ends up coming under the bridge, Shiny Sophia, doing trick flights around structures that we probably shouldn't be anywhere near. Oh, we're stirring the pot just beautifully there, and a very close approach there from Bass 73, and then landing on top of them. There's always one, and in this case, A Hunter G has done a beautiful job. So how does one actually go about joining one of these flights? Well, first of all, you're going to need to know which server you're going to join. So what we do is we go to Settings, General, Online, and we just observe what server we're currently looking at here in multiplayer servers. Spoiler alert, sadly for PlayStation people, you cannot join at this time any part of the rest of the MSFS 2024 network. You're kind of ring fenced in your own space there, and we don't reach across it, which is a real pity. Hopefully they might look into changing that one day soon. All of my flights are on the Southeast Asia server, so that's what I've got permanently selected there. The streamer that you want to join or the host that you want to join will post in their description, their event description, the server that you want to choose in that field there. Next, when you are in free flight and you're getting set up for your flight, you want to go into flight conditions. Generally speaking, you're going to want to have the weather and time on live. Air traffic I would find is better on off. Multiplayer. This is a crucial one that's not very obvious to people. It looks like live might get you your multiplayer stuff, but that's probably just other people generally flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. What you want is all players to be selected. That means that you don't need to be setting up a group inside MSFS 2024. It will just work for you without having to connect to anything else. So just leave this on all players. If you know that you don't want to see anyone else in the MSFS world, you can set this to off and you will only see members that you invite to your group. That's a conversation for another time. So that's what we select on this screen. Now, there is quite an obscure graphics setting, so under General Graphics, we want to expand out global rendering quality, and we just observe these two down here, aircraft traffic quantity and aircraft traffic variety. Actually, it's aircraft traffic quantity that you're interested in. You just want this to be on anything other than off. If you have that on off, you won't be able to see the other aircraft in the event that you're participating in. So just have this on anything other than off, and you will see the other aircraft. And if that's not obscure enough for you, this next one certainly will be. Assistances. We want to scroll all the way to the bottom here. We go through this section called Realism, and hidden in here is something called wake turbulences. And as it says there, it's going to adjust whether you want to experience realistic wake turbulences when behind other aircraft. Sounds really good, except when you're in a group flight with, I don't know, 10 or more other aircraft, it's going to really slow down your system. That's as things stand in early 2026. Maybe they'll sort that out later on. You just want to make sure that is off. Otherwise, you're going to have a really severe performance impact. Oh boy, I almost forgot this one. General Online. This is to do with model matching. So multiplayer replication models is what the setting is called under General Online. I leave mine on high fidelity, which, as it says there, promises to load the full fidelity model of the aircraft to maximum detail, which can reduce performance. So I do leave that on high fidelity. The reason is that I want to see other people in the aircraft that they have chosen. Now, by the way, something you need to know is that if I am flying a aircraft that you don't have in your library, it will be replaced anyway. But if I am flying an aircraft that you do have in your library, you have a better chance of seeing that represented in multiplayer if you choose high fidelity in this area here. You can choose simplified, which, as it says, loads a lightweight optimized model, prioritizing performance. But yes, the trouble with that is that sometimes, especially when we're flying helicopters, sometimes we'll get something like an Embraer jet substituted in place of a helicopter. And it's a little bit frustrating, so you'll put this back to high fidelity. It won't necessarily necessarily update that straight away either. It'll just, the next time it sort of goes around and updates the aircraft, it'll then maybe represent the aircraft properly. And just one last thing, just while we're thinking about all these settings that we've just made in MSFS 2024, you don't actually need to start a multiplayer session as such. You just go in on the free flight map, and if you all know where you are or where you're starting from, you'll just see each other, so long as you've got all of these other settings on that I've just gone through. And if you are using Discord for voice chat while you're flying, you might consider coming into your Discord settings, coming down to voice and video, voice, and investigate whether it might be good for you to use push to talk. The benefit of that is you won't be recording various unwanted sounds that might be happening in your environment to everyone else who might be on a Discord voice chat. So you could put that on to push to talk and then assign a convenient button. And by the way, that button doesn't have to be on your keyboard. I'm going to edit keybind here. I'm pushing a spare button on one of my controllers, and that detects that on there. So that is on a hardware controller now, so I can do it without taking my hands off the controls. Very convenient. And that is how you set up multiplayer in MSFS 2024 for when you want to join in one of our group flights. Hope we'll see you on board one of those one of these days. Otherwise, I hope I'll catch you in another video real soon. See ya.